Hello, my name is Wasifa, and today I'm going to teach you 3 easy expressions we use every day to make suggestions in English. We're going to cover let's, how about, and why don't we. These are really important expressions. I'll teach you both the grammar and how we use them in real conversation. So let's get started. Number 1, let's. The first expression we're going to look at is let's. We use let's when we are making a suggestion. We are presenting a plan or an idea to another person. My first example is, let's go to the park. What does this mean? Well, let's is a contraction of let us. So it means we. It means my suggestion is that we go to the park together. My second example is, let's have lunch at 1 p.m. This means my idea or suggestion is that we should have lunch together at that time. Now, it's really important that you notice the apostrophe here. Without this apostrophe, let's has a totally different meaning, and I'll explain that in a moment. Let's grammar. Contraction, let us. When we use let's, it is always followed by the base form of a verb. What does that mean? The verb does not have ed, like watched. It doesn't have ing, like watching. And it doesn't have any special conjugation. It's just the simplest form. Examples. Let's watch a movie. Watch is the base form. Let's see a show. See is the base form. Let's do art. Do is the base form. Let's eat a piece of cake. Eat is the base form. Again, these are all suggestions for something you want to do together. Making let's negative. Can you make a negative sentence with let's? You sure can. You simply add not after let's, followed by the base form of the verb. The structure is let's not plus the base verb. Imagine someone says, "Hey, let's eat 30 hot dogs tonight." I don't think that's a good idea. You might say, let's not eat 30 hot dogs. Or if you don't like camping, let's not go camping tonight. Let's do something else instead. Common mistake. Let's versus let's. This is a very important point, as many people confuse let's with an apostrophe and let's no apostrophe. They sound the same, but the apostrophe changes everything. Let's, no apostrophe, is a form of the verb to let, meaning to allow. Example, my mother lets me cook turkey at Thanksgiving. Let's, with an apostrophe, means let us, and is used for making a suggestion, which is what we just talked about. Number 2, how about? All right, let's now talk about how about. This is another excellent way to make a suggestion for a plan or idea. I can say, how about we learn English together? This means I am suggesting we learn English together. Another example, how about we watch a movie tonight? A quick note on pronunciation. Sometimes in very casual conversation, you might hear a native speaker drop the A and say, how about, instead of how about. They mean the exact same thing. How about we learn English tonight? Pause for practice. This is a great chance to practice. In the comments, give me a suggestion for my next video. You can write, Emma, how about you make a video on topic? I'd love to hear your ideas. How about grammar? I love the grammar for how about because it's easy and we use it all the time. We start with how about, then we have a subject like I, you, he, she, we, they, or a person's name or title. And finally, we have a verb in the simple present tense. Example, Imagine we are planning a party and deciding what food everyone should bring. How about my sister brings dessert? Break down how about plus my sister, subject, plus brings, simple present verb, with the S for sister. Negative sentences. Yes, you can make a negative suggestion using how about. You follow the exact same rules as the simple present tense. Use don't or doesn't, depending on the subject. Example. How about my sister doesn't come to the party tonight? Not a nice thing to say, but grammatically correct. Number 3. Why don't we? We've covered let's and how about. The final expression is why don't we? This is a nice, easy expression because it means almost the exact same thing as let's. You can use these two interchangeably to suggest a plan or idea. For example, why don't we hang out tomorrow? This means the same as let's hang out tomorrow. Some students get confused because they see the word don't and they think it must be a negative question. Don't worry about the don't here. In this context, why don't we is simply a polite way to give a suggestion. Another example, I love Persian food. When my friends and I are deciding on a restaurant, I often say, why don't we go to an Iranian restaurant tonight? I'm simply suggesting, let's go to a Persian restaurant. Why don't we grammar? The grammar for why don't we is just as simple as let's. We start with why don't we? Then we use the base form of the verb. Examples. Why don't we hang out? Hang out is the base form. Why don't we go to the party? Go is the base form. Why don't we study English? Notice that the structure for why don't we eat later today is very similar to let's eat later today. If you understand one, you'll understand the other. Summary and wrap up. So we've covered let's, how about, and why don't we. 3 great ways to make suggestions in English. The best way to learn these is to practice and repeat, so I encourage you to use them today. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I have many other videos on grammar, pronunciation, Canadian culture, and more. Thank you so much for watching. And again, please write in the comments what lesson you'd like to see next. You can write, how about you teach a lesson on... I can't wait to hear your suggestions. Until next time, take care.